Hello, this is Finky with LanParty, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on public speaking. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably pretty nervous before you go up on stage, and you're wanting to get the best possible tutorial or educational material you can on public speaking. Well, I can't provide that. However, the other option is to go to university or college and to get a public speaking tutorial or class or oral comm class or communications class, whatever that particular university or college calls it, and to take that. However, those can be pretty expensive. And if you can't afford that, well, I'm not the next best thing, but if you ask for pickles on your sandwich, that would be university level. If you got pickles, I'm like them putting cucumbers on it. So that's basically what I am. So we're just gonna go over it real quick, and it's just gonna be a short tutorial. We're going over the basics. Okay. So there are basically 3 rules to public speaking. No matter where you go, everyone's going to acknowledge that these 3 rules exist and that they are the fundamental groundwork that you need to implement into all of your speeches in order for you to be successful. Rule number 1. Okay, we're going to go over them in order. Rule number 1, it's the theory. Okay, and what the theory is, it's basically the theory that, words like and other fillers, you can mostly just come up with them on your own. There's a whole slew of them. Is most popular. That they basically break the continuity and the flow of your speaking, and they break it up, and sometimes it slows down your message and it interrupts your message, and it can cause a little bit of a problem for the audience to understand what you're saying. Whereas if you speak without any fillers and you speak clearly and continuously, your message gets through and improves the flow of your message to your audience. However, it has actually been proven statistically that the more uhs you use, the more your audience trusts you, because it proves that you're not speaking from a teleprompter. It proves that you're genuine and that you're speaking from the heart if you don't use any uhs, or if you use uhs and other fillers. And so it's actually very important that you put these fillers and other words like into your speeches. So I'm not saying to just use uhs and other fillers casually through your speech. I'm not saying that at all. But you should use uhs and other fillers as much as possible, like every other word if you can. Just as much as possible, because it makes you feel like you're more credible and that you're having to think about what you're saying as you speak instead of just, bullshitting your way through something. So it's very critical. Rule number 2. Rule number 2 is also very important. And basically, what rule number 2 is that you need to say the same thing over and over again. Now, I'm not saying to do something like, quote, Sally went to the house, Sally went to the house, Sally went to the house, end quote. I'm not saying to do that. That's ridiculous. You'll never get an audience. What I'm saying is to say the same thing over and over again, the same message, but with different words, with different language. So you understand, you send the same message to your audience using a different way to communicate it. Just keep saying the same message, keep vocalizing the same opinion, but change the dialogue. Now, some audiences are smarter than others and they'll catch on to this, but what this allows you to do is it allows you to fill in a time gap, a time frame. It allows you to spend more time discussing a singular message. And this is very important. We're all limited on time we have to prepare for speeches, and none of us wants to spend a whole hour preparing a speech. And so it's important so that we can save time on the speech building process and the speech work and the speech building process, that we limit the amount of time we spend on it and that we soak up as much time as possible. Rule number 3. Now, this is by far the most important rule of public speaking. If you take nothing else from this little tutorial, make sure you take this rule. It has historically been the most successful way to build a public speech in the history of mankind. Now, you might say, that's a little dramatic, but I'm being completely honest here. Now, our audiences, when we speak, sometimes it depends on our subject matter, But for the for the large part, they are usually a very diverse audience. You're usually speaking to Jews and to African Americans or Europeans or Asians, women, men, Christians, Muslims. Most audiences are diverse in every single aspect. Now, what you need to do though, what you need to remember, and this is less about building a good speech just for like one speech. This is more about building a brand. This is more about making yourself a more popular speaker, a more successful speaker in the long run. What you need to do is to be as ridiculously and over the top offensive to as many different groups as possible within your audience and outside your audience, and basically give amnesty to one particular group. Don't matter what group it is, but don't go after one particular group at least, and then pin all their problems of that one group you gave amnesty to on all those other groups that you're being offensive towards. And this will create a cult following, and you'll be worshipped, and they'll kiss the ground you walk on. And it's led to some of the most successful speakers in history. Donald Trump, I don't know, Hitler, for starters. And you can see that they became very popular and successful in their careers. So that's rule number 3, the golden rule of public speaking. Be ridiculously offensive to as many groups of people as possible, and blame all the problems of one specific group on those other groups that you're being offensive towards. You'll go very far. This has been Finky with LanParty. This is just a little tutorial. We're just going over the basics. This isn't going to turn you into the best speaker in the world or anything, but this is a place for you to start. If this video helped you at all, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.